of the oldest departments in the museum. It was the first department to have its own key and its own lock. The collection covers money of the world, from the beginning of history to today, roughly about 800,000 pieces. It's one of the most accessible collections of money in the world, with a strong history of research and training. For over 30 years, the Department of Coins and Medals has been the centre of research on Silk Road money. This is a few of our staff, our partners, our volunteers. It's not been the focus of all of our work, it's been a part of our work. So it's not been a sort of centre, as in a rookie, but it's been all of the work that we do. We put together and we try to make it, we try to do research in many areas. The Silk Road is one of those areas. We're very grateful to all of our supporters, including Professor Mariam Antiswai, an artist and supporter, great supporter of Silk Road Studies. When I first joined the British Museum, we had very early training curatorship in Silk Road numismatics, and this was specifically to enable young scholars at the beginning of their careers, people who were in their 20s, to come to the British Museum for a full academic year for 12 months to develop their knowledge of Silk Road coins. For many of them, this was a really fantastic experience, because in numismatics, support for training and research is very important. Numismatics is a multidisciplinary subject. It involves archaeology, art history, material science, economics, statistics, many languages, ancient and modern. It's a specialist subject, and there are some short training courses available, but it's rarely taught at university. So you have to learn as you learn. It's very difficult to be taught in numismatics. And the most important thing you say to beginners is, look at the coins, use your eyes. Because somebody else may have seen it with their eyes, and they may have seen something different. You might see something new. So look at the coins. So just to show you what it's like, when people come, this is how we keep the coins in the stores. This was my office, the tiny side. Open the doors, these cabinets, little trays, you put out the trays, and you can see that each coin has its house. And each coin has a ticket, and on the ticket is the information about the coins. For many, many years, this was a very efficient way of working. In the database era, this is really problematic, because now we have to put 800,000 objects onto a database. Yes? So, what if you do the change? And each of those tickets has information on it. You can see the information, and it has a code. So 84 is the year, 1884, 5 is the month, 11 is the group, 207 is the item, and then the name of where it came from. So this is how it was recorded. The provenance, the numbers, everything was recorded on the ticket coin. Very convenient if you work there. And this is our study room. It looks a little bit old-fashioned now, but it's been a very, very well-used room for maybe 50 years now, this room. Researchers come, and staff also come to look at coins and books. We hold small conferences and workshops. We hold classes, the tables. With the tables, about 15 people. Without the tables, about 30 to 40 people. And sometimes we need tables to do very practical work. This is my former colleague Joe Cribb at the back, and Rahim Khan, Professor in Pakistan, who are working on Gushan coins, looking at dialects. And they cannot do this on a computer because the screen is not big enough. So they have to do it on the table. The British Museum has a money gallery. This is the gallery of world money. And it's arranged with 18 themes, 18 questions, 18 themes. And each theme explores 4 parts of the world. So here, for example, the theme is the beginnings of money. And we have 4 parts of the world: the Roman Empire, and Bactria, Egypt and Mesopotamia, Europe and China. So we do a comparison. And if you can see at the bottom, there's a very low one here. This is for children, and for very simple information to keep everybody occupied. And the pink one in the middle is, if you only have time to look at one thing, look at this one. To catch people's attention. Another one is merchants in the world. So this one will be looking at Britain, Africa, Europe and South America, Asia and Europe, and East Africa. So it's a comparative approach, and the question at the top encourages people to ask questions and to think, to come with a friend, to come with their teachers, and to do some research. We also have a hands-on desk where we train volunteers to show people coins. These are real coins that we buy or we have them especially for the collection. It's not part of the museum permanent collection that is extra, but they're genuine pieces. And you can see it's very popular. And the museum gallery can get very busy, so we have to learn how to present the material to our visitors. Every summer we have students who track the visitors in the money gallery, so they watch people as they move around the gallery to see what happens. And they produce things like this, like a map. The red line shows the routes, and you can see that in cases 3 and 12, they're dead spots. Nobody was looking at these cases. So this is a waste of energy, waste of space. So the next time we were looking at the gallery, we decided to put different things there. There's also the Asian gallery, which was refurbished in 2017. It's in 2 sides. One side is the Chinese side, one side is the Indian side. Can you guess how many coins in the Chinese side? And how many coins in the Indian side? Well, on the Chinese side there are 6 coins. Only 6. There used to be hundreds, but now there are only 6. The 6 coins are usually displayed in the section called Life Along the Silk Roads. And there are 5 coins displayed in the South Asian part of the gallery, and these are in the section representing the Buddha in human form. There's a very small number of Asian coins that are on display in the Asian gallery, and that's partly because people who go to the Asian gallery, they like to see big things, so they don't see the little things, they miss them. So why are there any coins at all in the Asian gallery? Well, because coins are part of Asian and world history, and because the British Museum has a large collection of coins, and many of those coins are from Asia. And also because the British Museum galleries showcase research. So maybe you see a little bit of something in the galleries, but there is a lot of research in the background. Now in the section right along the Silk Roads, it looks really simple, but everybody in this room knows that the Silk Road is very complicated, much more complicated than this. We collaborated with the International Dunham Project at the British Library. We used their map to show a map of the Silk Road to make it easy. And we put the 6 coins to show differences from east to west, west to east, and in the middle outwards. So we have one Mazatlan coin, an Abbasid coin, a Sasanian coin, a Tang Dynasty coin local, and a Tang Dynasty coin national, and then a coin of Japan, one of the earliest coins of Japan. With 6 coins, you can hold a class. With 6 coins, you can say a lot about the Silk Road. The curator, when they were designing the gallery, they wanted 1 coin from every side. And we said, no, because 1 is a tremendous amount of work. And secondly, can you imagine? Everything there would be hundreds of coins from one place and nothing from another place. So it would give a very distorted picture. But there we go. Now, if people have been working on Silk Roads for over 30 years, this means many are reaching retirement age or retired. So, although the core team is now mostly retired, they're still very active, continuously publishing their work. The work of 30 years is continuing year after year after year after year, in publications, in teaching, in lectures. It just goes on. And they're very active in the Royal Numismatic Society, the Oriental Numismatic Society, and many other specialist academic societies. This is my former colleague and boss, Joe Cribb. He's 77, and he is now Professor of Numismatics in Fudan University. He doesn't want to retire. And Joe Cribb's research started on money, and he has focused increasingly on Central Asia, and especially the Bajans. There is a big volume coming out of Bajan coins called Robert Gracie, a young man. This should come out this year. There's my colleague Rusty Curtis working with Alexander and Elizabeth Pendleton on the Party Coin project, looking at the collection in Berlin in 2017. And their colleague Chris Hopkins, who works in America on the database. So he manages the database from America. One of the youngest scholars now is living in New York. Bester is retired and Elizabeth is retired. Bester is now a volunteer at the museum and goes in every week or every 2 weeks to work there. These are some of the books that they have produced. Bester and her team is working on the Parliament Coin project. It's an international project working with the UK, Iran, Austria, France, Germany and America. And you can imagine sometimes it's quite difficult working with all of these countries. Politics sometimes gets in the way. The Sustain Coin project, again, to produce as many catalogues of the coins of the Sustained, just as you have with the project to produce the volumes of the Chinese painting, we do the same with coins. This leads to other publications, Kingship and Religion in Ancient Pleasure, and Celestine would say coins are an important primary source for the religious and political economic innovations in Iran. Coins move. They move long distances and move short distances. And they carry messages. Also, this work is split into a series of books on the idea of Iran, the birth of the Persian Empire, the age of the Parthians, the Sasanian era, the rise of Islam. And this, Sinjin will remember this perhaps from 1997. There was a conference called the Settlers in the Punjab, one day study day, and a very small exhibition. This was published as a book. It's now been published 3 times, twice in the UK and once in Mumbai, in India. And Elizabeth Errington is also retired. She's been retired for maybe 10 years. This is her recent set of books, all about the historical collection of Charles Russell, who was one of the earliest people to collect archaeologically in Afghanistan in the 1830s. So here you have Charles Russell on the Buddhist sites of Afghanistan, explorations, excavations, collections, 1832 to 1835, and then the archive is the British Library, the British Museum and other documents, and then his collections from Begram and Kabul Bazaar in Afghanistan in the 1830s. And this has done a fantastic amount of work on a very important historical archaeological collection. It's an archaeological collection in a museum. These need to be studied as well as do field work. I've done a lot of work on the collections of Einstein, so it's a similar kind of thing, looking at the archaeological collections within the museum and bringing them up to date. So when you look at this very small display in Asia gallery, you may only see 5 coins, and the big one has to be gold, and the pot underneath with the inscription. But there is a huge amount of research that goes on in the coins and Gandhara behind it. My own work is basically looking at the eastern side of the Silk Road, so you can see look at the Chinese coins. Most of my colleagues can't read them. Most of the people who visit the British Museum can't read them. But one thing that they will say is, if it's round with a square hole, it's Chinese. So I'm coin, I'm Chinese. Or I have some kind of Chinese tradition behind me. So you have different scripts at the bottom. And again, some of the coins were very influential in Japan. We took off on the Tanganyika. You find similarities in the stuff in Japan, Vietnam, and Korea. But all of them saying, I'm a coin, and I'm either Chinese or I'm not Chinese, or something else. So they're shouting their identity. But coins are not the only form of money, and when I was writing my first book, I realised that we need to look at textiles as well. This book took me 10 years. I didn't want to spend 10 years learning textiles. So the only way to do this was to partner and to collaborate. And it just happened that John and his team came to the British Museum wanting to look at silk textiles from Dunhuang, and I was involved with my colleagues Francis Ford, Helen and Carol Michelson, and John with his team on and Shuzhou to come and to look at these pieces. And this was 17, 18 years ago, so we've been working together on and off ever since. So this is some of the fine work that they did, or we all did together, but they did most of the work on the textiles. But if you're looking at textiles as money, you have to be really careful, because coins are man-made objects, and their primary function is to serve as money. Textiles are also man-made objects, but money is just one of their functions. So, if you're looking at a coin out of context, it's probably still a coin, and it probably still represents money. But if you find a textile out of context, it probably doesn't represent money. How can we know if excavated textiles function as money? Well, one way is to look at excavated textiles that have inscriptions. And the ones in the middle, these are tax documents. And some have been found in tombs in Astana. And if you look at the dates of these, you can see that here on the right, a tax textile, you pay your taxes in textiles, dated 684, was found in a tomb in 689 in Astana. So that journey took 5 years. So if you map these things and you look at the sources, you can see if it takes 5 years, what does that 5 years mean? Does it mean one journey, walking for 5 years? Does it mean one journey in many different offices for 5 years? Or does it mean it's being used in different contexts? In this case, it was for a monetary context for tax, and in this case, it was for a Buddhist burial trial. We put together the team textiles done in the Silk Road with Arakawa Masahara, Japan, Grantin, Sagittarius in China, Terry Hansen, USA, Lucia in China, Ashley Chen in Canada, April in France, Bobby Paul in China, myself, Mongla, China, Shichang China, and Job in China. We published this in 2013. It takes time for these volumes for people to look at them, and now I'm getting more inquiries than ever before about the subject. Also, we continue to work with Job and his team. We continue to work with the International Association for the Study of Textiles, which was established in 2015, and this has now had 7 meetings, and we'll have the next one in the summer. These are very useful ways for people from all subjects, interdisciplinary subjects, to meet and to discuss silks on the Silk Road and new ideas and thoughts. One of those conferences resulted in this book, The Textiles and Clothing on the Silk Roads, a collaboration with the Silk Museum and for this I was looking at backgrounds at the time, so my paper was on backgrounds. We turned into perhaps the most recent publication I did last year, which was looking at the Silk Road textiles on banknotes. Slightly offbeat subject, but the banknotes that was very sound issued in 2021 were called the Silk Road series, and this is the 2000 song note. You can see at the top there is a map of Uzbekistan with the root in blue, and behind it the Hana textiles, which are traditional and representative of Uzbekistan. So that's some of the things that we've been working on over the last 30 years. You will continue to see publications and lectures and presentations coming out from retired people, probably for the next